Hi, this is Val with Folk Art Wings, and I'm going to do a flip through of my latest journal. It's a big, chunky one. I need my ruler, and I'll go ahead and give you the size. It is, let's see, 10 inches tall, 7 1/4 across, and the spine is almost 4 inches, so it's big. It holds a lot. I haven't counted the pages. I will count them and put them in the description. I hope I can remember to do that. Sometimes I get a little forgetful. But anyways, I'll try my best. It's got a vintage fabric for the cover. Here's the back. Really cute fabric. I love the fabric. Love the colors. Turned out really, really cute. But I'm a small person, stature, 5'1", and my hand will grasp the spine of this, and, I can tote it around. It's not like it's that huge, like weightlifting or something. Anyways, it's got a ribbon, a grosgrain ribbon closure, and it's been wrapped around twice. I love this. It picks up all the colors of the greens in here. I've got a little trim on it with some burlap trim. It's got 8 signatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, verify that. 8. I put a little, I forgot what y'all call these little things, but I jazzed it up a little bit. Some beads, a little leaf of velour, and another velour leaf, millinery supplies, and some vintage ribbons. And I've got a backer card that I just combined some book pages and different things. This was the back of a sticker sheet, and I thought it looked really pretty with this. Love that bow. And I've got an old printout here from the back page of a school book, and notes written. Looks like it might be Latin. But anyways, I thought that was cute that you can tear up and use within the journal. I also did a page of words that you could cut and use throughout your journal. Got a little boutonniere here, old millinery supplies. A bag of goodies. I've got flowers with little punch-out flowers. I did French knots, a green one, a red one there that I see, some tags. Here's another book page button flower, just like those two. There's play money in here. There's stickers. There are game cards. There are little tassels and flags and flips and fabric swatches, a Metal Gear, a ball pen, stamps, all kinds of supplies in here. There's just so many, I can't even, go through all of them. It would take a while, but you've got a lot of assortments in here. They're just stacked up pretty nice, but there's a lot in there. And I do have this full. And then I have a wooden button sewn on a vintage ribbon bookmark. Okay. And so we'll go ahead and get into it. The sash I decorated with a kilt pin. It's got a little fleur-de-lis on it. I think it's probably brass. You can use that to keep everything closed up if you want, instead of tying the bow. Then it will give you more ribbon to use as tags if you want. I've covered the inside with scrapbook paper, and sometimes this little bend here gets a little weak, so I put a little extra reinforcement with some old ribbon. And I had to extend the pages to get my signature covers, but I thought they looked really cute, and I did stitch them together. I do a lot of sewing, a lot of punching the edge of the pages. If you want to look through as we flip through, I don't want to use up too much of your time. The second half of each signature is using up the same papers that were in the beginning, so I'll flip through those without an in-depth explanation. I got this book page in here with little fairies and a woodland scene. I thought it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This is French paper, old book, school book, and I punched the edge. This is large. I'll try and keep everything within the boundaries. I'll keep checking on my tablet just to see. I stamped "Remember to stop and smell the roses" on this old school classroom drawing paper. This is a copy of some hand-painted coasters. I've got a double pocket here, just so cute. Little punch out here, and you can see it with the card that sticks through. And then we have a journal card that's really, really decorative and pretty. And on this side, we've got, I have about 1,000 at least of these printed 3x5 library index cards. It has the title of the book and the code number in a lot of cases. And I decorated this and am using it as a tag. The sticker's been sewn on. The pocket's been sewn. Sewn all around here. Added a little decoration and attach it to music sheet paper. This is scrapbook paper that's been sewn and punched and decorated with some 1930s trim. I've got a book page here that is a flip out, pockets on both sides. This one's got a partial printout of a marriage certificate in the first pocket. Make sure I get that in the right pocket. Okay, next pocket is a tag, one of my library index cards. So cute, decorated with a little a little picture of a flower from my husband's seed catalog, and little drawing. This is the wrong pages. Put this back in this pocket. There we go. Okay, had already flipped and pulled the things out of this pocket and have them in my hand. Sorry about that. Anyways, we'll flip over to this pocket. It's a double pocket. I've got a journal card here. Some artwork from an art book, and a little piece of writing space with a little drawing on it, and a tag out of one of the library index cards, and it's backed with book paper and another little floral design. And then we have a journal card here, and I just kind of like the colors coordinating with the cover of the book. And we have book page here that I've sewn a little trim on, same as what we have as our wrap here. And this is eco-dyed paper. It came out a silvery gray, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I hope that shows up in the camera. Beautiful. Graph paper, punched edge, a map from an atlas, portion of a map from an atlas. This is more of that artwork that had on a tag earlier, and some color swatches and sewed down the edge of drawing paper. This is tracing paper. This is a reproduction of an apron from the 1930s. This is coffee dyed paper, and I punched the edge. And we're at the center, so a repeat of papers. This drawing page, I did do a stencil with some, I forget it. It's not white paste. It is gesso, white gesso. This already had a little stamp on the page. More of that book page decorated with a little washi tape and a little paper journaling spot. This is the other side of that book page that I did a double flip out. See the artwork? And in this pocket, I've got two pockets. I've got some construction paper. Nice journaling spot. You can fold it, tear it, write on it. Little piece of scrapbook paper, an offcut. And part of an almanac image. It's a book page. Sorry about that. And this pocket's decorated all around, sewn and decorated. I'm getting there's a little tear on that one, the edge. And one of my, I take all the offcuts, and when they're small like this, I just start gluing them down to index card, and then I sew them all around, make sure they stay attached, and put a little ribbon in it. You might see more of those throughout this journal. On this side, we've got a double pocket, and I just stenciled a little bit on a book page. So you can use that anywhere within your journal. And then I've got another little offcut with some washi tape and some ribbon trim. And another one of the index cards decorated with washi tape, book page, see catalog, ribbons, really cute. Little side pocket on that, and sewn on the two ends of that scrapbook paper, decorated with stitching. That double pocket, I put a corner pocket on this side, and we've got a really nice journaling card. And then on this side, we've got two inserts, a journaling card with some artwork from a book, art book, and this came from a children's craft book, how to make some children's crafts, and backed it with some scrapbook paper sewed all around it. So more journaling space, really cute. This is reproduction paper that my daughter gave me when I first started scrapbooking, and I use it occasionally, but everything else is my own coffee dyed or tea dyed or ego dyed. And then the coasters, I painted are on there, and the drawing paper book page. You can see the stamp, the punching I did. And this is that outdoor fairy garden with a little poem. And that's our first signature. Second one, beautiful paper, extended. I put a pocket right in the very front. This is a page from an almanac. This is a tight tuck spot. I love the bird, love the decorating on it. This is a page from an almanac. Go ahead and take that out so you can see it. Plenty of book space. You can write on the inside of the cover of the signature. And in that pocket, along with the almanac page, I've got some writing paper from a tablet, folded in half, lined. I've got a copy of a journaling spot that I designed, and then on this side, it is the copy of some notations in a student's French book. And I've got more notes in another student's French book. This is a reproduction of that book page. We've got an offcut piece of stationery, linen stationery, a pen and ink that I did years ago for one of my businesses, and then one of those index cards with some washi tape. And if it's audio, it always has this red stripe on the top. I thought that was kind of neat. But anyways, it's heavy dyed with coffee and sewn all around for more journaling spots. And here we've got a flip out. This was a giant student's French book, and I heavy dyed every page. And so they're very large, and so I always do kind of a flip out on it. And I put this old image I got off an art book and some washi tape on it. And it's a really nice paper. I love the feel of it. We have a flip up or a waterfall, whatever you want to call it. It's offcuts. It's bridge scorecards, offcuts of parchment and coloring book pages, writing tablets, some copy paper, just an assortment. They all blend with the whole aesthetic. Children's book page, I punched on both ends. I've got a pocket here. Hold on one second. This was a little bit different way of decorating a pocket. Let me put these things to the side, and then I'll put them back in. Okay, oops, lost it. Here we go. Okay, I took book page here and punched it on both ends, and then I put a corner pocket facing out, and then I took the square and just sewed a little sticker to it, and it picks up all the colors throughout, and it slips right over that pocket and gives me a little decorative touch. Plus it's journal space inside and out. And then I included, I am going to put something on my page to hold it while I'm talking. Okay, here we go. All right, so I have an offcut from an illustrated book. Sorry about that, book. I've got some, did I sew this together or fold it? Okay, this is a bumblebee that I sewed all around and attached it to some scrapbook paper. I've got some play money. I've got a tag with all my little offcuts sewn to a library card and a scrap. And it all comes together to match the journal. I love that. As you work through it, it will open up more. I love an overstuffed journal. I've got a belly band here on the back of that book page. Beautiful watercolor illustration of a bird with a basket of apples. And it's attached with washi tape. And we have linen stationery and a folded piece of notebook paper, full sheet, and a index card lined on one side. And then I just took one of those little rotary cutters for pie crust and dipped it in inks and rolled it all around just to decorate it. We've got coffee dyed paper punched on the end, children's writing paper with some rubber stamping of butterflies, some writing paper, book page with more writing space, illustration here. I think that's so cute. We've got some tissue paper with a sticker on it, children's book page, nice size book page. I just love that. Fit this journal really well, I think. I have to trim it down in most of my journals. I did a little stenciling on this and punched the edge. This is just craft paper punched on either end. A garden book with illustrations. Love the colors. And I punched the edge. And this is an eco-dyed paper. You can see all the leaves. Really great impressions. I can feel it has a lot of texture. The dye, the leaves and buds dyed the paper with a little kind of an ochre color. I put some 1930s vintage lace on the edge. And I mean, it is just gorgeous. You can see stems, you can see veining. I just did a little paperclip attachment to this cover of a, I used to, my daughter always designed stationery and we would sell at wholesale markets. And this was the cover for one of the salesman's sample book on the stationery paper that we used. And it's really got a nice feel to it. So I added a little paper clip to it. And I took a time card that's new and stained the edge. And then I've got a little sewn sticker to a little scrap offcut that looks real cute with the journal. And on this side, I took another offcut from a book page and attached that. And then we're got tea-dyed paper. This is the, a feed sack image that a lady had turned into a dish towel back in the 30s. And she had embroidered a little bit on it and I reproduced it. And then I decorated with a butterfly swatch here. And then we've got a pocket attached to a book page. I punched the edge, sewn the top of this book page, put a little sticker on it, and I sewed that strawberry to it before I attached it to the book page. We've got some old play money from the 80s. This is just pen and ink from a book, an illustrated book. We've got some offcut scrap paper with a little punch out. I put a vintage, I sewed a vintage photograph of some miners with some tissue paper on an offcut. Makes a nice journaling spot. And then on this tea-dyed page, we've got a little flower decorating a butterfly sticker that I sewed to some offcut scrap and attached it to the paper. And then I've got a stamp and some offcuts right here attached to a newsprint. Folded out, little washi tape in there. And then a pocket on the back of that newsprint. Decorated the top with washi tape and sewed this mushroom sticker to the pocket. And in the pocket we have I guess I can't remember how I did that. Oh, I know what I'm looking at. I am so sorry. That's typical. This is a little flower punch out, and so I was thinking it was a hole in the back on this, but it's not. I printed up this lined paper. I do that a lot of times just to give a different look to the paper. Instead of blue lines or brown lines, I do black on it sometimes. And so I've got a reproduction there, plenty of writing space, a bookmark or journal card, offcut there, get it down, another offcut with some ribbon, and a image from an artist book, and it's sewn to book page. And then I did this is stamping on a heavy coffee dyed recipe book page, and it's been punched on the edges. I put one of my quilted pockets on the back of the page, I'm sorry. And we've got a journaling card and a bridge card. The game bridge. This is from Clue, a scorecard from Clue, and a scrap with a little sewing at the top. Just makes a little difference, just adding the little bit of sewing. We've got coloring book page, and on the back we have we open it up. The Song of the White Clover Fairy, I put that there. It comes from that earlier page in the first signature of the fairies, and so I had added that. And then some of that notations from the student French book, just to keep everything flowing. And that's just kind of a surprise on the back of the coloring page. I've got a belly band here on an art book page, and I used eco-dyed paper for the belly band, and I've got a book page here from, really it's from an old almanac, and it talks about Winnie Peg the bear. And I don't know if that has anything to do with Winnie, but yeah, it does. Winnie the Pooh toys. Interesting that they say Winnie Peg the bear. Anyways, it's an article about it. You might enjoy reading it. And then you've got journaling space and notebook paper, well, notepad, I mean, with plenty of writing space. And the colors work really good with the journal, so I tucked that in there. And we'll flip that book page over, and we've got another belly band with a sticker of a fan, or Asian fan, sewn to the belly band. And we've got a piece from a notepad, some notebook paper, and a yellow 3x5 lined paper. And then we have scrapbook paper sewn all around, and a beautiful sticker attached here. And we've got at the end of this, it's not at the end, but the back side, we've got, where was the middle? Did I come to that yet? No, we haven't come to it yet. This is the middle. Pardon me, I'm sorry about that. This is the middle of the second signature. And in this, I've sewn the pocket and sewn all around the page. And then in that, I've got a heavy eco-dyed paper. I love, love, love doing this. It's got the seed caps of a sedum plant in my garden, and it's so beautiful. The colors, the textures, fantastic. You can feel everything. Just really, really pretty, I think. I was thrilled the way it came out. Let me slip that back in, that pocket. And we have a textured piece of paper that's handmade paper. You can see the fibers in it. And we have a notepad paper, plenty of writing space, book page, children's book page. Talks about a water wheel. Somebody did the dot to dot on the back. I thought that was really cute. And then we've got a 3x5 card here. And here we've got a belly band going horizontal. And I used sight word flashcards. I used to be a kindergarten aide, so I have some of the leftover pieces that I had bought on my own to use with the kids. I'd take a little group away from the teacher and help her with the ones that were struggling a little bbit with the beginning of their readings. But they all catch up by the time they go into the next grade. They're all about the same level. Did a little stenciling on a book page, and then someone had gifted me some journal cards, so I included that one. Matches the journal so well. A lot of writing space. Just wanted to put a little something there. You can remove it. It's attached by washi tape, but I like the image of mapping. And I've got a piece from coloring book page and coloring book, and then it's got a calendar on the other side. It really wasn't a coloring book. Let me explain that again. Okay, it's a map. It was not map. Oh my goodness, I'm losing it. Okay, it was a calendar. All right, and this is one of the things I can show you. The numbers are upside down this side, but when you flip it, the illustration is correct on this side. So that's where you're going to find things upside down sometimes in my journals. Unintentional, it's just the way it goes. And I did book page pocket, I sewn all around, and did a butterfly swatch on it. And in that pocket, we've got an acquaintance of mine did pen and ink architectural imagery on wrapping paper, and it's really just craft paper. And she was selling at a yard sale, so I bought a few packages of it. I just thought it was so unique, and bought that, oh my gosh, probably in the 90s. That's in there, I think. Okay, and then we have an offcut from a coloring book page. And this is just an old wrapping on a box of handkerchiefs that I bought, and they were the 60s, I think. 3x5 cardigan with that zigzag on it. Plenty of writing space. A lot of decorative imagery. A pocket on this book page, and it's got some quilting done on it with great washi tape and paper offcuts. And we have a wonderful journal card here, and decorated and sewn all around. And another one of those library cards with a butterfly swatch on it. Okay, and another rubber stamping there. Where was the center? Let's see. This was the center, right? Yeah, there we go. We're on the back side. So I did just a scrap trim there. I sewn it to the newsprint page. No, I sewed it and then I glued it down. And I decorated with some washi tape, and this all flips out, and more washi tape. And when you go to use it for writing, you can cover it up with some of the papers that are in here. And then we have a coffee dyed page, and it's punched on the edge. Artwork just to decorate this book page, and it's attached with washi tape. And washi tape is not meant to be permanent, so sometimes I glue the washi tape to keep it down, but you don't have to. And this could be a belly band because the picture is separate. You see that? Just the washi tape's on the side. So you can remove it, keep it as is, do whatever you want with you. It's your journal. But I try to make it so you can make it your own personal touches. Some stationery stuck down with washi tape, and it flips. And then we've got that image of the writing space and the image on the embroidery on the flour sack. And that's something I own, and it really was a family piece passed down. And so I copied it, and I'm not going to let go of it, that's for sure. And then decorated again with that vintage trim that I used in other pages. And the eco paper. Each one's different. Each side is different. Some of that antique lace again. The garden book. The brown craft paper. the stenciled printer paper book page, tracing paper, another book page, punch the edges, punch the edge of this. I went in and did my own journaling papers, and so plenty of writing space. More of the children writing paper, coffee-dyed paper, book page. Got a little swatch up here sewed all around. Attached a pocket, sewed a dragonfly to the top, front of the pocket. And we've got that almanac paper, that journaling paper, a bridge page, the red lined paper, and a journal card. Okay, more children's book page. I punched the edges. That French book page, and it flips out. And we've got a pocket here on attached to the back of your signature. And I did a corner pocket, did a beautiful butterfly swatch on it. This is from a garden book, and I just did a little stenciling on that. And just something different. A full page of lined paper. And I think it's printed on the other side too. I couldn't remember if I did that or not. A journal card sewn all around. Beautiful image, I thought. Beautiful, beautiful. Book from a book. And then some little printout that I designed and did. And we're on to number 3, I think it is. And, big extension here sewn down. Scrapbook paper sewn all around, and I added a little pocket with a partridge. And in the pocket, we've got some graph paper. It's a full sheet, folded, tuck in that pocket. And then we've got an offcut that I decorated at the top, just for the fun of it. Bright colors match the cover. Oh my goodness, I'm fiddling again. Here we've got another journal card. An offcut of writing paper, a eco-dyed 3x5 in that silver tone. I can't remember how I got that. I just loved it, and I'll never be able to remember how I did it. And oh my gosh, I usually do it in the hottest part of the summer, do all my eco-dyeing, and so I can't remember what I used for that, and I would love to reproduce it, but I don't know how I got it. Book page with some offcuts for journaling, really cute. And coffee dyed paper punched at either end. Little decorating here, old little pieces of offcuts. That silver eco dyed paper punched on the side. And this is just a little image that I reproduced from some sewing I had done. Just took a little sample of it, and you go into one of your programs for illustrations, and I just took that strip that I had sewn and made, and then I took a section of it and reproduced it, and used that for the center of this little frame. And then I've got journaling spot here on this book page, and it's heavy cardstock, and a butterfly swatch here on the front of that one, and little staining on the edges, little offcut, picks up the reds in the book, an image from a book page that I've got. Love her look. Okay, and 3x5 with a little decoration on it. Okay, and we've got parchment paper, and I just glued a little fussy cut of a little girl there. And this is decorated on the edge. That's punched there. This is handmade paper. This is from a calendar. Love this image. And then I covered the back, since it was a calendar, with another image. Just beautiful, I think. So simplistic, but beautiful. Everything's right from the garden. In fact, they have the top of a sedum plant that I showed you I used in my earlier eco-dyeing. So we have a music sheet. I did press a lot of leaves during the summer too, and this is purple basil on parchment, and I punched the edge. You can see some of it, and you can actually feel the stem if you rub your hand on it. Another book page from Cookbook. This is stationery, just decorated it. This is old, oh my gosh, what do we call that? Dotted Swiss. Dotted Swiss on a red ribbon, and you can feel the flocking. And this is handmade paper, and it's punched on the edge with a little vintage lace and a little piece of doily and a number. And that this is a wood fleur-de-lis, and that goes with the brass pin on the tie. So I threw that in. I thought it was really cute. And I sewed tissue paper. I do this a lot on a book page. So you can tell it's a book page, and I sewed all around it. But I take white tissue paper or pastel, and I will put glue stick all over the book page and then lay that torn piece of tissue. And if it has wrinkles, which this does in a couple of spots, it stays smooth, and you can write on this real easy. And it's sewn all around with some, this side wasn't as attractive as I would hope either, but it's a book page in here, and I love the colors, and it's a sturdy page. And so then I put some lined paper on this side, and this is book page punched on the edge, and we've got a pocket in the corner here decorated with old various book pages, some craft paper, and an image from the seed catalog on this, and it's a triangle on the edge. And I've got a folded piece of note paper with a watercolor image that I did, and note paper backed on some offcuts, and just an offcut of some more scrapbook paper. The bridge card again gives you lots of writing space. I love these. And a little journaling spot with a mushroom sewn to it. Thought that was cute. More of that children's writing page, and I punched the edge of it. It's lined, kind of a lavender. Craft paper, book page, and some of that reproduction scrapbook paper. And we're at the center. And I won't go over every single page, but I will flip them. It's so textural of these sedum caps. Art book page with a pocket, and in this pocket, this is from the pocket's made from book page too. Love the artwork in it. And we have more writing spots and coloring book page, this full sheet, and then one of my quilted tags, and they all go in this pocket. Okay, and we have the handmade paper with a little punched on the edge and a paper clip with ribbons. You can see anything that's sticking out, that's usually a paper clip. And I did a little journaling card here, sewed that sticker to it. That's a nice big paper clip. And then that lace, not lace, polka dot, dotted Swiss, flock dotted Swiss ribbon makes a belly band here. That's that stationery. And it's all been tea-dyed. Book page, and I put a little scrapbook offcut and ruffled it and sewed it to the book page. We've got parchment, and I have a quilted spot here, and some music paper again, a floral image sewn to the back side of that calendar page with the parrot. And we've got the handmade paper with a nice little imagery here sewn together. And I designed this for one of those multi-picture family frames where you put everybody's picture in it, and there's like 10 openings maybe. And in the center, I did a cross stitch that I designed of a family tree, a tree. And so I took that out of my frame and decided to go ahead and do a copy of it. And so I might include it in my journals here and there. You'll see it from time to time. And parchment paper punched on the edge, and it's been coffee dyed. And we have book page that's decorated on one side, says journal, and the old book page on the book page. Punched the top, sewed all around it, made a pocket and a butterfly swatch here, multi-layered, many old offcuts. Some of that scrapbook paper and that silver gray toned 3x5 and calendar page and a journaling spot for a tag there with ribbon. And then we have more eco-dyed paper punched on the edge. Very pretty. That's the center of a flower, a leaf. What else can I spot? It's just gorgeous. Oh, I wish I could remember. Little decorated piece here with a tag and some swatches and tea-dyed paper punched on either end. And we've got a pocket from the side here. We've got book page that's attached to book page and some offcut attached and a full sheet of the red writing paper lined on both sides. Get that in the pocket. And then an old, the end of a brochure, very old, from Virginia. Yeah, different advertising in it from Virginia, and note paper. And the back side of the book page. I've got a tuck spot here with cardstock. I sewed this image to the cardstock. I love that. It's a craft made out of book pages and then the books here. And I love the bird. I thought that was perfect. We've got, of course, some coloring book page. I think it's folded. Oh, it wasn't that big. Pretty small coloring book page. But, and I don't know where I picked that one up. We've got an offcut, another offcut backed with book page, another art book image on one side, scrapbook on the other. I love this, origami paper. I actually bought it in Japan because I'd never seen origami paper at the time here, and I hoarded it until I started making journals. And then another copy of my black pen and ink work and scrapbook paper, and this beautiful bird on scrapbook paper attached to the back of that scrapbook paper for its cardstock weight. The signatures are, and so that ends that signature. And now we're on to the next. This image is attached with two little yellow brads, and we put an extension on the page, and then a washi tape and offcut decoration there, and paper clip. Let's see, this is scrapbook paper, and I've paper clipped more scrapbook paper with a little washi tape decorating, more offcuts, plenty of writing space. Same thing on this side, more offcuts reproduced of these, and it's got red velvet ribbon on that paper clip, and ego dyed. This is fig leaves, and I sewed all the way around it. Here's the stem, and you can see how big the leaves are. They're just huge, and they are thick, and so they leave a great impression, and they dye up wonderfully. I just love it, and I use only natural dyes. This is music sheet paper, some cardstock punched on the edge with a pretty sticker, handmade paper with a paper pleat sewn to it. This is baking sheet paper, and when I do tea dyeing and coffee dyeing, I stack my papers on parchment paper in a big sheet pan, and then I bake them in the oven, and this gets so crunchy. And I just used and stained, and I love the colors, and you don't know what you're going to come out. Even that is like it's separate on eco dyeing. And sometimes I'll leave the leaves on the lower layer of my baking sheet so that it gets even more impact on the baking paper. But anyways, I did pinking shears on the edge. And here's more of that wrapping paper and cardstock punched on the edge. coloring book page on book page with punched edge, and it's an almanac page, book page, and then I just decorated it with writing space here, and we've got some more tea-dyed paper. This is all eco-dyed papers right here attached to that almanac page, and each one of these are pockets. I just wanted to demo that. 1, 2, get my fingers working here. 3, 4, 5. And they're all offcuts, and they're doubled up so that they have a sturdy edge to them. I didn't do the little thumb cutout like some people do on their pockets, and I left it flat because I didn't want that little curve to be getting caught on anything you stick into it. But this is perfect for putting small things like tickets or stickers or stamps in, small pictures. More of my own journaling spot paper. And then this is from, where did I get this? I think it's an art book. And eco-dyed paper with the fig and fig leaves and ferns. I actually put some ferns on that one too. And we have some antique crocheted trim. You can see a huge stem, a little bit of the fern here, little fern here, but you can still see the outline of the big fig leaf too. Book page with a sticker, and the book pages are you can see punched, and we're at the center. I reinforce it with some washi tape, put a little sticker here. This is a cookbook book page, and then the back side of the signature has that eco-dyed paper with the antique cotton crochet trim, a collage on the almanac page, and coloring book page. Okay, you can see forms a pocket, fill that up, and tea-dyed paper punched on either edge, the almanac, and it gives you journaling space or just a decorative spot. Beautiful floral illustration, cardstock that I punched on the edge, and it's textured. And that wrapping paper, the baking sheet paper, handmade paper. Love that. Cardstock that's punched on the edge. Music sheet, more eco-dyed with a fig leaf. Just beautiful. Sewed all around this one. See the stems. We've got a paper clip here with an offcut, some play money, a card, game card, and a journal card decorated with an old quilt sewn all around, and vintage ribbon attached to a paper clip attached to the scrapbook paper. And we've got a large pocket here. We've come to the end of this signature. It's cardstock folded up, okay, sewn all around, and in that we have a huge offcut journaling spot. One of my paper quilts, I take book pages. This one's got all the handwritten writing on one side, and then we've got all these little offcuts that I save, and I glue them down, and then I stitch them, reinforce it with some stitching, and that's huge. You can fold it, you can tear it, you can cut it, whatever you want to do with it. And then I love this image out of one of my books, and it's sewn to another book page. Thought that was so pretty. And now we're on to the next signature. You can see all the papers coordinate with the cover of the journal. Parchment with a rubber stamping. Graph paper, and it's been trimmed with scissors all the way around, decorative scissors. Some origami with a sticker attached, a fussy cut. It's really not a sticker, it's a fussy cut from a coloring book page. And it's attached to almanac paper, book page. And then I just put a little pocket here of scrapbook paper. But you can see it's a pocket, so you can put some items in it. I'll go ahead and stick this little envelope in there. That's cute. And then printer paper that I designed, and let's see, stationery, and I have a little flip, and this is a game card. And I decorated some craft paper with the scissors on the either end and a little scrap offcut. This is heavy coffee dyed, and I also added some blossoms from the garden, so it's kind of got a golden tint, and it's parchment. And I punched the edge, punched the two ends of this coffee dyed paper. This is book page, and I sewed a pocket to it on this side. And I love pen and ink. It's my favorite kind of artwork. And so out of a garden book, I made a pocket, put some vintage crochet lace on it, and then I filled the pocket with some writing sheet paper and notations that I reproduced from one of those student French books. And I never erased any of the notes that students make. Some offcut of, this is a copy of a tablecloth I have from the 30s. This is some lined writing paper. It's a full sheet. Love that. And a journal card. Sewn all around, and it reproduces this. It's the same scrapbook paper as the extension. So, you know, I kind of like to keep things connected. This is a blue eco-dyed paper, and I'll never be able to reproduce it. It's really the silver gray, but it has a hint of blue in it. I just wish I could figure out what I'd used. It's just so beautiful. And it's my eco-dyed papers are original. Then I've got a really cute illustrated children's book page, punched it on the edge. French book page, punched on the edge. This is book page, and I put a paper clip with a little flip up, and it just slides right over the book page, okay? And you've got some flip here with some eco dyeing and different offcuts, and then it's paper clipped. And I put that, I thought that was cute that I had a little torn piece of paper and said questions, so I put that at the top. I thought that was real cute. But you can add your paper clips throughout the journal wherever you want. And this is a book page, history book page. Cookbook page, all of the recipes are handwritten. I just love this, in a blue ink. And then they reproduced it at my cousin's church. We've got book page, it's punched on the edge. I've got a rubber stamping of gesso on a heavy coffee dyed recipe book page, and that's sewn to a magazine page, calendar page. And then we've got a flip out of this book page, and I just did a little decorating with another book page and an image from another book. And it's heavy coffee dyed. And this is just printer paper, and I put a little rubber stamp there. This is scrapbook paper and music sheet paper, punched on the edge, and it's been glued down to a very fragile children's dictionary page. This is the original book page. It's really got great color, but it's fragile, so I glued it down to the music sheet to reinforce it, and then I did do some punched edge on it, and we're at the center. And this is some handwritten notes and the aged in page of a book, and so I just saved that page and reproduced it. And you can have plenty of journal space there, and just decorated with a little bit of ribbon on the scrapbook paper. Lots of journaling spots. Paper clip here with a game card, some game money on that heavy coffee dyed craft book page, and then a little bit of coloring book page on the back side of that paper clip, some vintage ribbons, and a pocket and punched on the edge. And a lot goes into a lot of these pages, one single page sometimes. Like this book page right here, it's been gone through a heavy coffee dye. It's been baked in an oven. It's got punched edges on it. Okay, and then sometimes I'll glue down the tissue paper on it. So, you know, each page goes through quite a bit. That's parchment paper. Some more of my eco-dyed paper. Great texture, great color. 3x5 with the ink. And little Brad attaching a little coloring book sample to cardstock. And we've got that calendar page again. And on this side, same thing reproduced on the other side. That gesso stamping sewn all around, baked, coffee dyed. They get a workout. Music sheet paper, the recipe book paper with a little illustration, and a sticker sewn onto book page here. The French book page, great illustrations. Children's book page, punched on the edge. You can see the punching. Eco-dyed paper again. And a pocket with a couple of, this is some reproduction notes that I scanned on top of my little design journal paper. And this is just a book page where I love the illustration. And so I included that in the pocket. So pretty. And this pocket is almanac page doubled and sewn to the book page, and then a little swatch going on here, and some crocheted lace punched on the edge. That's the back of that book page. Coffee dyed paper, parchment with a little cute sticker, and a butterfly swatch on craft paper, some crocheted lace on a note paper, and a little inspiration there for you. And writing paper that I designed, book page. Love this illustration. Isn't that beautiful? So that's from a book page. Pocket if you want, or a belly band. You can remove it. The washi tape comes off. Graph paper again, and parchment, and we're at the end of that signature. And now we start this one. Nice writing space. Coffee dyed music sheet. Am I still in frame? Hope so. Graph paper, very old graph paper from my dad's old office. Some washi tape. Flip out 3x5 on book page. More washi tape. And when I count book pages, I don't necessarily count these as book pages unless they've been sewn in. This is attached, so it's not a book page. This is attached, it's not a book page, but this is a book page. And so that's 1, and the back side is 2 when you're counting your pages, just like in a regular book. This is little scrap sewn on to decorate that book page, and the edge is punched. We've got some offcut from scrapbook paper, and a journaling card all sewn around that sticker, and then some old rickrack, and it's paper clipped to the edge. This page has been sewn all around. We've got a belly band attached to an almanac page. Let's see, it's been trimmed, trimmed. I've punched the edge with paper punch and put down a little notepad there for reinforcement. This is fragile paper. It's not crumbling, but it is fragile. It'll tear pretty easy. We've got stationery here that I stenciled on, and a journaling card from an offcut, and then some writing space again from notebook paper. And we flip it, and we've got a book page that I did some flower pressing on, so you can see it's got a little staining on it. I did a butterfly collage there, punched the edges of the book page. And on this side, I have vintage rickrack from the 1920s or 30s attached. And we've got scrapbook paper, a lot of journaling space with ribbon attached, children's drawing paper. Remember to stop and smell the roses, punched on the edge, handmade paper, book page, and it's been trimmed on the edge. Some more of that wrapping craft paper. Giant pocket here. I took an illustration from a book page, put that, attached it to another piece of book page, put that all around, and then cardstock for the pocket. And in that, it's stuffed Oh, I was trying to pull the pocket, the page. It's the book page here, right here. And it's been punched with a scallop edge. And then you've got your pocket, and you can see the book page. And in that pocket, I've got a punched piece of offcut and a little offcut of lined paper with a little butterfly image on it. And then we have an offcut of scrapbook paper. And the pocket's sewn all around. And we have a belly band attached to a almanac page, and I sewed all the way around it to kind of reinforce it. And then the belly band has two brads with I had just a little small swatch of crazy quilt, Victorian crazy quilt, and silks, and the silks were deteriorating. So I saved the pieces that I've got because I knew I could use them in my journals, and so I just thought that looked really cute, and I attached that. And you've got some cardstock weight papers here to journal on, and they just slide right in there with a very vintage 1980s, maybe earlier, gingham ribbon. The almanac page. More eco dyeing. This is a lot of ferns here, a lot of stems showing, all the little teeny parts of the fronds, I forget what they call that, and some of that very old antique crocheted trim on it. We've got book page here, and we're at the center of the journal with the red writing paper. Okay, and so in this pocket I used a 3x5 in that silver gray, and I did a little floral swatch here with different papers and ribbon, and then I've got a couple of journaling spots for you. This is a folded sheet of lined paper, my printed design, and then some of my pen and ink on some of that silver gray eco paper. And then this is an art image on a pharmacy bag, and I sewed all around that. Lots of journaling spaces. And then same thing through the 3x5 card attached to a book page, and we've got some folded sheet of coloring book page. The pocket has that very vintage 1940s, I think, rickrack zigzagged and attached to bias tape, and it came that way on a roll. It was already prepared by the manufacturer. Really, really pretty. Just an offcut, an illustration from an art book. You can attach it wherever you would like, and an offcut of cardstock. And then a collage of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8, 9, 10 little swatches to make a decoration on that book page. And the eco-dyed paper, the crocheted lace, has these little points to it. Beautiful. On this, we've got a book page that's been decorated all over. It's got imagery from an art book. I made a little quilt. I take all these little squares and cut them out of my husband's seed packet catalog, and his seed catalog. And then I also did a rubber stamp on some offcut there, sewed it all around, but I sew these squares to book pages, and they're my little square quilts, inch square quilts that I've been doing for about, I don't know, 6 years now. And I attached some vintage ribbons onto a paper clip. Okay, and on this side, you've got a game card attached to the belly band, and in the belly band, we've got a full sheet of writing paper, lined red writing paper, a sample of my printer paper writing. This is a book page of a book that's this size, and it was just so interesting, and it's original, and I love all the artwork, the floral artwork in it, and it tells all about that flower. Some tickets and just a little stamp offcut with a little rose on it. And then back to book page and the wrapping paper, book page. I glued a doily down and did a little stamping of a rubber stamping of a doily in the middle, and then I punched the edge. And this is handmade paper and drawing paper, very old, punched the edge. And we have some lace that I got in the 60s, and I attached that to scrapbook paper. And then I have a tuck spot up here attached to a catalog page, and I sewed a little picture from a calendar to the book page, and I punched the edges. And this was a page that I used for pressing flowers, so you can see some imagery. This is notepad and a journal spot with a diagram on it, sewn all around. And then I've got a great image here that I love from that same calendar image. And so I sewed that to a piece of cardstock and attached it to the almanac page. And then I have a belly band on this side and decorated that with a label. And we've got origami paper and a coloring book page and a beautiful calendar image of a bird sewn to cardstock. Isn't it beautiful? This is a really pretty journal. Very, very pretty. I folded up pocket in the word journal that I designed some stickers. And this was a fussy cut image out of a book. And they used, it's kind of like a paper doll illustration. And then they put old fabrics around it and a little pin there. And it was in a magazine or a book with slick paper. Anyways, I fussy cut that and attached it to an offcut of scrapbook paper, punched the edge, but I attached book page on the back too. And then this is a journaling spot sewn all the way around, and that's a leaf I gathered from the yard when my dogwood turned fall colors. And so I put that imagery on some parchment paper to make that journal card. And this is book page, and it's been punched on the edge. It is kind of a directory. That's why it had one of those spiral edges, and I just tore it out and decorated the edge with some swatches of offcuts and book page. This is book page. It's music sheet, music from music book. You can tell the same thing here. I just tore it out, and then I punched the edge, and it's heavy coffee dyed. I've got a pocket here, a side pocket. And in that side pocket, I took a calendar page and sewed it to some cardstock. And then we have an illustrated book page, original book page. Isn't that beautiful? And then some parchment paper on cardstock tucked into that pocket. And the pocket's been sewn. Plenty of journal space. Okay, we're on to the next signature. And it's got an extension on it. And book page with a cute little decoration. I did the silhouettes many, many moons ago. And then these are all little offcuts that I cut, like kind of a, I can't think of what the word. I want to say medallion, but it's not. That's not the right word. But anyways, it's kind of like an award that you would wear on your lapel back in the day. But anyways, it has all these little dangled pieces, and I just think that's fun to make. And this is reproduction, crumpled dyed paper. It was a gift from my daughter. This is very textured cardstock that's handmade paper, and it's stamped on the, punched on the edge, and textural cardstock in red. And then this is vellum that has a green tint to it, and I punched the edge. And then this scrapbook paper has a pocket on the other side, and it had red on one side and then the map on the other side. It's from an atlas. And so you've got plenty of journaling spots here. We've got an offcut of coloring book page, and then one of my library index cards with a medallion on it. I'll call it a flag medallion. I don't know what else to call it. But I backed the card with some book page and then seed catalog image and then some offcuts. And I think that just looks so cute together. We've got a bookmark that goes in there. If you want to use a bookmark or journal card, I think I'll put it in this. Here we go. Into the pocket. And some more handmade paper with texture. Really neat paper. I'll put it in between. It'll be easier for me to scoot it in there. Okay, scrapbook paper. And I've got a little pocket on this side. And in that pocket, we have some stationery, some notepad, and coloring book page. And I think they all blend together so well and accent what we would have done throughout the journal and the colors. I love that. And if you want to remove everything when you start writing in it, go ahead, put them aside, put all your journal cards and all the little additions, put them aside, and this book will be easier to open and write in because it won't be so full. But I like to fill them up and make it all removable as much as possible so you can put your own, take on it. Coffee dyed paper, eco dyed paper, sewn the edge. Now this one, you've got to be able to see all those wonderful ferns and that ochre, acid green, yellow color. Children's book page punched on the edge. This is, I won't count this as a book page by any means at all. That's not enough there. But it is a book page sewn in. And the reason why a lot of times the book pages in these larger journals is because they're not big enough to expand the whole depth of a signature. And so there might be a short piece on one side and a longer on the other side. So I don't count that as a page. And it has a little, another book page that's artwork, watercolor florals, and I just add that to the, sewed it to that book page, and it flips out, and there's writing space there. And then craft paper, coffee dyed music sheet paper, tissue paper, that wrapping paper, and it's been reinforced a little bit by a little offcut of paper from a notebook. And this is handmade cardstock, and I punched the edge, and we're at the center of that signature. And so there we are with the wrapping, the tissue, the music sheet, the craft, book page. See how this is the other side of that, and it pulls out, and you can see it fills in. I don't want this messed up, so I flipped it. But if it fits the signature then. And then that's from an art book, but it gives you writing space. And just a nice little imagery on that book page. And then a children's book page punched on the edge. We've got the eco dyed paper with the fern impressions. Coffee dyed paper. In this pocket, I have some more little treats. Oh, so sorry about that. Okay, and we come to a pocket page, and in that pocket, we've got some craft lined on one side, blank on the other, writing space, an offcut of some stationery, one of the library index cards decorated, sewn. I hope I'm not doing that the whole time. Sewn. And this is from a magazine, this image, and I cut that out and sewed it to cardstock. But it gives us, more things to decorate with and write on. And then a little swatch here that I came up with. A little sticker in the center of that page. And here's the colored green vellum. And the cardstock in red, the handmade cardstock punched on the edge. That reproduction paper. Book page, and I just did a little collage there and another little collage here. And now I think we're at the last signature. Handmade paper. A how-to book page. And did a little collage with one of my little button flowers and lots of little swatches. And this is the children's drawing paper, and I just decorated a little bit. Book page. It's a German book page. Coffee dyed paper. We've got a scrapbook paper attached to almanac paper. Did a little collage there, sewn. Okay, We've got a pocket, a belly band, I'm sorry, on the back of that almanac page. And this was to give you more writing space, and it reinforces the page too. This is the belly band is sewn down, and it's very vintage style handwriting on a book page. And a folded piece of lined notebook paper. And I have this craft paper notebook. It's got lines on one side and it's blank on the other. And I just put a little offcut on it. And some more eco-dyed paper. Kind of more beige instead of the silver tone. Okay, and I paper clipped this little dictionary, a word, to book page. I attached it. And then I'm attaching it to the belly band itself. And on this little remnant of book page, it is counted as a book page. It's got a pocket in it. It's been flipped up. I decorated the same color that I put on the notebook paper, the craft paper that I put there. So I like to carry out, like I said before, journaling spots. This is a folded piece of offcut in yellow, and then I attached a sticker to an offcut and just put that in the pocket. And then on this side I decorated again with that offcut red paper, a little rose sticker on book page. It's been punched at the edge, and a very old hand-dyed crochet trim. This is eco-dyed, very large fig leaf, and I put that antique crocheted lace again on these pages of eco-dyed paper. This is note paper, and I did a little tagging there, flipped it up and sewn, and it's got one of the dictionary words glued down to another book page to reinforce it, and then just a little offcut from really from the outside of a packaging. And I used to do these little pen and ink illustrations on merchandise, and I would tag them, and they went to the shopkeepers that bought our merchandise, and that we all handmade. My husband had a line, I had a line, both my daughters did. Music sheet paper punched on the edge, some old writing paper, lined writing paper, a piece of that wonderful crumply baking sheet paper, a lot of texture, a lot of colors, scrapbook paper, and a little collage there, some stenciling and punching on parchment, rubber stamps of butterflies on children's writing paper. We've got some leaf impressions, leaf prints, purple basil, but yet it comes out tan and green. A lot of times it just depends when you hit it, you know. The chlorophyll, I think it's called, comes out in the dies sometimes, and it really does help. But this was just simply pressing the leaves. And they were a deep purple. Punched it on the edge. Book page, French book page, and I punched the edge. And we have a little writing space. Another paper. Another pocket out of heavy packaging, I think is what I used for the check. And then I decorated with layering of other papers and all. And then someone gifted me this tag, and I've got some of that lined red writing paper there. That's the center of this signature, which is the last one. And in that pocket on the other side, we've got a couple of journaling spots. We have folded red writing paper. Tuck that in. A journal card, many layers on some of those index cards. Okay. And this is napkin attached to one of the index cards and a little ticket attached. Okay, more writing space, more writing space. On this side we have this little sparkly thing came from a lady who used to do a lot of, she made hats and belts and, decorated millinery things and all. And so I got this little container of a handful of those little sparkly things. And then I punched out some tagging and did some stenciling on one. This is a playing card, and they're tags, and they're attached with a little brad to French writing paper. And I don't know if you can see it. I'll lift it up. The handwritten notes in pencil. I don't erase them. You can, but I don't. I like that personal touch of history. More of the pressed basil leaves, purple basil. Children's writing paper again, parchment paper. I stenciled, put a little gem there. This I found it's so funny. Before I ever got the index cards, library index cards from a friend that was a librarian, they went digital, and she asked me, "Do you want the cards?" And I said, "Oh my goodness, yes." And so I'm so grateful that she offered them to me. But I had found this stamp. It's one of those with the wooden handles that you do dates, and it said library books. It was very old, and I bought that downtown at an estate sale. I thought that was so neat, and I held on to it, so now I can use it in my journals. This is more of that baking paper. You can see all the different colors. Lined paper, music sheet paper. And that is, they added a lot of illustrations and color on the music sheets in this particular music books. I got 3 or 4 of them, and they're all about the same period, 40s, 50s. And they have a lot of color to them. So that gives you a lot of writing space right there. And on this side, we have notebook paper that I decorated with washi tape and a flower button with a vintage button. And in that, I've got part of this desk calendar that had illustrations in it, and a little offcut of the writing paper, a little piece of a bend in the parchment paper. It's an offcut. Now I printed on it, a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. I thought that was kind of interesting to think about. And then the word fall from that children's dictionary. See if I can get them back in that pocket. Yep, slid right in. Easy. Okay, eco-dyed paper with that antique crocheted lace. Book page punched out on the edge and the hand-dyed crochet trim. Book page with a little pocket. I've got some decorating on this side, a little pocket decorated here. It says journal. And then in there, I've got a French to English sight card, a little offcut turned into a journaling card with some of that dotted Swiss ribbon and some stamps tucked in that book page. And in this pocket, which is a book page on an index card, and I sewed it onto the almanac paper and reinforced the almanac paper with a flip up of some of my digital writing paper. I like to include that. I use it in my journals. And then I filled the pocket with some different labels, sticker labels to use around, and a sight for children's sight card, learning their colors. I've just stuck one of those in there. And coffee dyed printer paper punched on the edge, the German book page punched on the edge, drawing paper decorated. That's very, very old. Take my word for it. A book page punched on either edge in a little collage, handmade paper, and the end of that signature. And a little reinforcing. Everything's been sewn all the way around with cardstock weight on the inside and then the vintage fabric on the outside. Such a beautiful journal. I just love all of it, every bit of it. I really enjoyed working on it. You've got that. You've got your backer card. Okay. You've got a couple other printed sheets of paper that you can use inside your journal. We've got a whole packet of just wonderful little goodies. All right. The bookmark, 3 layers of ribbon, some of that dotted Swiss again. See? Okay. And we've got a boutonniere to decorate the front too. And you can put whatever you want on the cover. You can label it. And then we have the tie closure with the brass fleur-de-lis kilt pin. We used to have wraparound skirts, and we use these kilt pins to keep it closed so it didn't open up while you were sitting at your desk. I'm from a generation where it was not allowed to wear pants to school, even up through high school. We had to wear, it was mini skirt time in the 60s and 60s and early 70s. Well, no, 60s. I'm losing track of my own history here. But anyways, in the 60s, it was miniskirt time. And so here we were at Nebraska with the snow maybe 3-4 feet deep, waiting for the bus at the corner. We didn't have to walk to school in high school. But there we were with our high heels, chunky high heels, and our legs all exposed to that freezing. That 9 below was the temperature. It was not the chill factor. If you added that in, they said you could freeze in 9 seconds at that point. But just a little background there. And now today, kids wear pajamas to school if they want to. But anyways, times have changed. I love working on these. I love finding things that are older than me to add to the journals, and I just have a good time with them. I hope you've enjoyed this flip through. I hope to see you again in the next one. I've got some more that I have finished. I've been working very hard, and I hope you enjoy them. And I don't do anything on my channel that says I'm an expert. By no means am I an expert in anything, but I have done a lot of things, and I've had a lot of fun in my life. And I've had a good life. So I just wanted to share my joy of journaling, and I hope you come back. That's it in a nutshell. Bye-bye.